ride with the mob.
I'm Jahylin Mckee, Jahylin Elizabeth Mckee. I go by Jay sometimes for people who are close to me. I'm a publicist, and the name of my company is Mckee Co. I think what made me want to become a publicist was the fact that I was super involved as a child and as a teenager. I was always involved in something. I was always a social butterfly, and I just loved helping people. And I was able to merge the two when I got to college. I was an HBCU campus queen, and throughout the different things that I was required to do as queen, which was event production, project management, delegation, leadership, being the liaison, that point of contact between other HBCUs and other students, faculty, staff. Like, I was always that middleman or that connect, always connecting the dots. And once I got exposed to like the entertainment aspect of it, I just had this rush. Like I don't know what this is called, but I need to be a part of that. And one day I was Googling up late at night, and I finally discovered, like, okay, this is called a publicist. And so after I kind of finally like figured it out, I just started doing more research, and I was like, I'm not gonna stop until I feel like I'm walking in this space of a publicist. And then, you know, here I am today. One thing that I realized, that being a publicist was not gonna happen overnight. If I wanted anybody to take me serious on anything that I was going to do, I was going to have to get the experience. And as I started to grow and try to build my brand around being a publicist, I had to realize that I had to work with what I had. And that was my own experiences, my own story. And the thing that I regretted the most about being in college is that I didn't have an internship in college. But what I did have was my experiences. And so I feel like I started doing PR. I tell people all the time, I was my first client. When I was an HBCU queen, I got placements with Ebony Magazine and, you know, of course, my university, and different things on a national level, and just dealing with different people and being that liaison, doing those events, getting those placements with like HBCU Buzz and HBCU Pride Nation, and building those relationships. And so I had to put myself out there. And so I feel like that was when I realized, without not realizing, that I was gonna become a publicist. I'll tell you my first starstruck moment, and I'll never forget it. I was working with Remy Ma at the time, and I was her social media manager / assistant. And it was a crazy series of events. I wanna say we filmed something. We filmed the episode for Love and Hip Hop, and after we filmed the episode of Love and Hip Hop, she had a performance that night back in New York. And then after she had a performance back in New York, it was Fat Joe's birthday party, and it was like a yacht party. And I was on this yacht with DJ Khaled, Ashanti, Mary J. Blige, like all these people in one room. And like, I was, you know, fresh out of college. It was like maybe 3 months after I had graduated, and I was just like, I want a yacht with all these people at one time. And it was just so funny because it was like, you know, I was always in work mode, but she was just like, girl, go have fun. Like, I'm gonna be over here, I'm fine. You go have fun. And I was just like, I didn't know what to do with myself. And it was just like, wow, like, you on a yacht in New York, like, with these people. And it was pretty nice. It was pretty cool. And I actually like took a picture of it. It was so funny. DJ Khaled's personal photographer, he like took this like Polaroid picture of me, and I was like, I gotta document this moment. I'm gonna keep this moment for the rest of my life. And so I still have that picture somewhere. But that was like one of my very first moments where I'm like, wow, okay. And then I think after that, you just get used to everybody. So I had just moved to New York. I moved to New York with a dollar and a dream, literally. I had opportunity to do the whole tech thing in the Silicon Valley, and I said no. And My homegirl already lived in New York. She was in film and production. She was like, girl, just come to New York. I know this is where you want to be. I know what you want to do. We gonna make it work. Just come to New York. So I was like, okay. And I actually had an opportunity to volunteer at Hot 97's Summer Jam, doing social media and working with the digital team for that. And so from there, I was shadowing one of the music executives there. And like my whole thing is like, I'm hungry. So I'm gonna go above and beyond. I'm gonna do what everyone's not willing to do. I was literally on my feet for like 15 hours nonstop. And after that particular event, she was like, you know, we should definitely stay in touch. And, you know, you were amazing. And so, you know, I was like, I have her number. Oh, okay, bet. I'm gonna pull her phone up every day. And so I did. I would text her every day. I'm like, hey, you need anything? I just wanted to be the need, because I know, like, I picked up really quick, like, in order to make it in this industry, you gotta be the need. And so I blew her phone up, and one day I got lucky, and Hot 97 was having this, they was having some event on the yacht. This was like in the beginning of Cardi B's career. This was in like the very beginning of Cardi B's career, and she needed someone to do social for Remy, because Remy was her best friend. She said, you know, can you come to the station? This was way before I started, because I actually ended up becoming an employee of Hot 97. I was working on the street team, but before that, I just only had this gig. And she was like, can you come up to the station? I want to hear more if you're interested in it. I didn't know what I was doing. I put together this whole entire PowerPoint on Canva. I did not know. I didn't know nothing. Like, I was like, but you know what, girl, you got this mass comm degree, you better put it to use. So I put together this whole cute little deck for Remy, and I had analytics and numbers. I did not know what I was talking about. And she didn't even really look at it, but just the fact that, like, she saw the effort. And she didn't know if it was right. I didn't know if it was right, but it was like, okay, I can see this girl is hungry. And then believe it or not, she actually brought Remy to Hot 97 for me to interview with her. And I had an interview with her, and it was like, oh my gosh, I was not expecting that. But you know, the whole saying of stay ready, you never have to get ready. I just had to tighten up. So after I left that, it was really nice. I got a text message from her. She was like, hey, Remy really loved you. You know, how do you feel about coming to this private screening with her? I did that. It was the screening of Girls Trip, and she was hosting a private screening in New York. She was like, can you be here at this time? You know, you do photography, right? I was like, Never picked up a camera a day before in my life. My roommate had a camera, and I said, can I please use your professional camera? And they were like, okay, go ahead. I used it. You couldn't tell Remy I wasn't a photographer. I wasn't a social media manager. So all of a sudden I became a photographer, and I was doing that, and I was uploading pictures. We would be in the limos and the cars, and I'd be in the corner somewhere trying to upload the photos so she can have them and edit them. And I would send them to my photography friends, but she really thought that it was me. I'm like, yo, can you edit this video? Can you edit this picture? And she loved it, and you know, the rest was history. It was a really good experience, and we definitely built a relationship. And I was very grateful, because I always, you know, I paid tribute to her, because it's like, you know, you kind of gave me my first shot in the industry, and working with someone like that on that scale is like, I'll always be grateful for that. Where people are dropping the bar when it comes to PR, it's in different levels, right? So you have the aspiring people who want to be in PR, and we live in a generation now where entrepreneurship is cool. Entrepreneurship is trendy, entrepreneurship is sexy, and you know, starting your own is great, but I think we lack a step in like paying your dues. And I think everybody has a sense of entitlement now, where it's like, oh, okay, I have my own PR firm, or I'm a publicist, and it's like, do you even know the basics of a press release? You know, do you know the basics of pitching? Do you know the basics of just building genuine relationships with the media? Do you really know what a publicist is? And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like, I have a lot of confidence, so I was just like that, but I got humbled very quick. I'll never forget, I had an interview to be on a PR team for a very notable publicist in New York. And I thought that because I had the experience of working for Remy Ma, I thought because I had experience working for Calvin Klein, on their PR team and doing New York Fashion Week and stuff, like, I thought, like, you know, I had it all together. But the thing about it was I had only done all of that in 1 year, like month spans of things. And so I walked up in his interview and I was very confident. I was like, oh yeah, you know, I'm on PR firm. He was like, oh really? And this is a seasoned publicist. And he was like, you know, he was just asking me questions like back to back about the world of PR. Like, who are the top 5 PR industries? Who are the top 5 publicists? Like, what's going on and this and this and that? And like, I choked up for like the very first time in life. And I'm like, wow, like, even though I have accomplished a lot, like, I still have a very long way to go. And he humbled me, and I'll never forget. It was this past summer at Essence Festival when I had a few of my clients with me, and we actually bumped into each other at an event. And like, I pulled him to the side, and you know, one of his clients was doing an event, and when he got some free time, I pulled him to the side. I'm like, you know, I don't know if you remember me or not, but you know, I just really want to thank you because like, you really humbled me, like, when I tried to become your intern. Because he discouraged me so much, I didn't even want to send a follow-up. I was like, you know what, like, I'm good on that. But like, it was a very full circle moment when I ran back into him, and I was mentally much more further than I thought I was when I interviewed with him. And it was just like a very full circle moment. So I think it's just, you know, we still like, and that goes for any industry, but we live in a generation where everything is so, you know, popcorn, like, I need this now, this needs to happen now. You know, success is overnight. And like, I'll tell anybody, like, I still have a long way to go. And if I feel like that, and if anyone is coming up behind me, like, it's not to discourage them, but to motivate them to know, like, okay, I did this, learn from my experience, but understand you still need your own experience as well. And you know, you are always a student to the game. In order to have proper media training with whomever, I think what's very important to me as a publicist with my client is having that trust. Because at the end of the day, your client or your artist is gonna be who they are regardless. And again, it's 2019. Authenticity is key. That's, you know, we live in a world where, you know, I am who I am, and I'm gonna say who I am, and I'm gonna say how I feel. However, you need to have the proper team behind you to prep you on what's going on in the world, because what's going on in your world is the only thing that's going on in your world. So if we're going into an interview and I know that the government is shut down and that's a national situation that's going on, I need to prep you on how you feel about the government shutdown, or what to say, you know, on a national political, like, it doesn't matter, but as long as I can tell that you're educated, even though that's not even your industry or your field, as long as I can tell that you're educated on that, then that will speak volumes in the type of quality of a person you are, versus you just being ignorant and you just saying whatever, because you don't know how that journalist could impact you or recommend you, and just have that relationship built on everything. And that's what's more important for us as a publicist, the relationship beyond the interview. How, like, you know, because if you mess that up, you may not even be able to come back. You know what I mean? So you blow something like The Breakfast Club, or you blow something like Ellen DeGeneres show, like, it's not even the people who are interviewing with, it's the producers in the room, it's the point of contact in the room, it's the publicist behind that particular brand, or the communication specialist. So, you know, for me, you know, everything is a calculated risk and everything matters from the time you walk in to the minute you post about it on your Instagram story. I am a very big fan of Michelle Obama. When she did her book tour, that blew me away, and I'm not gonna lie, I went through a very dark time in my career where I went through a few things, and it's just things that you charge to the game, and after a while it was just like, I don't look up to nobody. Like I don't look up to anyone. I'm not inspired by anyone. I'm just gonna do what I do, and that's gonna be that. However, I'm looking at things with a new eye, and I admire Michelle Obama and the team that she has behind her, because originally when I wanted to become a publicist in the entertainment industry, I always looked at the actual talent or the actual artist or the actual whomever, and I was like, I gotta work for this person, I gotta work for this person, I gotta work for this person. And it was so funny because I kind of started finding myself like in these positions and manifesting things, but it was in different avenues that was not PR, because like I said in the beginning, like I wanted to become the need. So the need, I was becoming an assistant, a photographer, a videographer, like all these different titles that had nothing to do with me or my purpose. And even I worked at a talent agency for a while, but like I remember I got an opportunity I actually got offered an opportunity to be an assistant for K. Michelle. And that's when I knew in that moment, like, as I look up to Mckee, well, I don't necessarily look up to her, but I love her as an artist. I love her music. I think her music is dope. But Jahylin, you're not an assistant. Like, like you have the tools, like you have what you need. Like, you don't have to keep playing it small in order to get in these rooms. And so, after I took a step back and I realized like who I was, I had to remind myself who I was. It was like, you keep being a dope person, and these people who you admire are gonna eventually attract and come to you. But on my bucket list, and I'm gonna try to speak this into existence, but me working for my first lady, Michelle Obama, or I would love to be on Beyonce's PR team. Miss Yvette is amazing, and that's her publicist, and that's been her publicist for over 17 years now. She's been with them since Destiny's Child days, and I just admire how she moves and how she works. And so Michelle Obama and Beyonce are my top two.
So what kind of clients are you looking for?
When I take on a client, I have to believe in whatever they have going on. Like, I tell people straightforward, I don't want your money. Like, I have my own money. I literally have to believe in your brand, and your brand has to align with who I am as a woman, my purpose, because if I don't believe in your brand, no one else is gonna push your brand as hard as me. And like whenever I'm anywhere in any room, I'm always thinking in the back of my head like, oh, how can this impact Amaretta, or how can this opportunity be great for Sean? And I feel like because I'm so passionate about the client's music and work or whatever it is that they do, like I find myself in other areas of creativeness. So like, not only am I a publicist now, like what makes it so amazing is like I offer a full service creative agency. So at this point, we're doing brand development, we're doing brand partnerships, we're doing artist development, we're doing creative directing, we're doing PR work primarily, and now we're kind of going into a different division of my company, and it comes so easily and naturally because I actually believe in these brands and I can see them in different avenues. Or I'm not the type of person to where I take on a client and I see that you may lack something and I'm like, okay, well this not necessarily my job, so good luck. I'm that type of person that's like, okay, well let me find the resources I can to help you, to kind of help you in this area, or whatever the case may be. My advice would be to fail forward. I am so open to failing forward because I think we get so caught up in failure, and And I feel like we get so caught up in our own heads that we don't even realize, like, just starting and just doing, like, you learn so much. Like, you know, had that publicist in New York told me about myself, like, it would have never motivated me to, you know, become better at my job and what I do. Or, you know, had I became a videographer for Remy Ma, you know, had I not put together that social media presentation for her, like, I wouldn't even have the chance to be in the room with some of the people. But not only that, I think it's really important to fail forward, because you fail forward by experience and throwing yourself out there. Because I say whatever I do, whether it was a bad experience or not, it was still an experience. You know what I mean? And so you have that expertise, or you have that whatever it is that you have that you can now offer to someone else. So, you know, you rolling up your sleeves and you doing the work and you putting your pride to the side, because you did it for that person for free. Now you can probably charge this person over here money because you have something to show. You had that experience to say, hey, I did a whole entire event for this person, and although I was volunteering or although I was interning, now when someone comes to you and they ask you what services do you offer, do you feel comfortable with that price? You can now say, I offer this and this is my price. So again, that's by failing forward, that's by experiences, and that's by staying consistent. So you can follow me at Life is Jahylin, LIFEAS JAHYLIN, and my website is www.jmckeenco.com. That's JMCKEEANDCO.com. J McKee Co.